The name of the game is Cartesians Plane. Now in this video, I will be discussing how to play the game through demonstration and how it can help students in furthering their understanding of the materials. The mathematical content that is addressed in this game is the identification of different geometric figures, going over lines and line segments, basic algebra, and the use of the Cartesian coordinate plane through basic graphing and plotting. The object of the game is to escape the jungle island that players have crashed onto by collecting parts and repairing their plane. This is accomplished by completing mathematical tasks in a certain amount of time required by the game. Parts of the game. Pieces required for the game is going to be a Cartesian coordinate plane, preferably one that is laminated or on a whiteboard, and a whiteboard marker and eraser. If not, paper and pencil will do just fine. You just might want some extra Cartesian planes for the players to use. Also essential to the game is a counter to keep track of the player's progress throughout the game and a marker to follow along the track. Also required is a timer, as that is essential in keeping track of how long each player has to solve the certain problems as specified on the cards. Now the cards, there's two decks of cards. There is the search card pile, which on the front there's the question, on the back is the answer. And there's the part card deck. Just like the search card deck, answer on the question on the front, answer on the back. Now, the importance of these will be explained in the game. I'll go briefly over it right now. The search cards are going to be used each turn a player has. A player will draw it, read the question, see how much time they have, and try and solve in the allotted time. If they succeed in answering the question in time and get the correct answer, then they have successfully searched. If not, they have had an unsuccessful search. Either way, play continues. Let's say, for example, there are 4 players in a game. Each player will have the opportunity during their turn to solve a problem on a search card. If the majority of players solve their problem and complete a successful search, then a part card is drawn. If half of the players or majority have not successfully searched, a part card is discarded and an attempt is made again. Now, back to part cards. If the party search is successful, then a part card is drawn. The part cards are very similar to the search cards, as there's a problem on the front and the answer on the back. Except these are more graphing type questions that all players have to solve in the allotted time. So the players will draw this, read the question aloud, look at the time, and all players at the same time, for example, for this one, have 45 seconds to solve this problem. If they succeed in solving this problem within the allotted time, if the majority succeed, then they get to successfully find and repair a part and move the counter up. If half of the players or the majority of the players are unsuccessful in solving for the part card is broken and must be discarded. In order for the players to win the game, they must complete 7 successful part cards before either the search card pile runs out or the part card pile runs out.
The game starts off with player 1 drawing a search card and then attempting to solve that search card. The search card that player 1 drew was draw an obtuse triangle. Player 1 starts the timer and proceeds to answer the question to the best of their ability. In this instance, player 1 is successful in drawing a triangle with one angle greater than 90 degrees. Now that player 1 has finished their turn, player 2 can draw a card and attempt to solve that card. The player 2 draws a card and has to solve the card by drawing an irregular hexagon.
Player 2 starts the timer and then attempts to solve their search card. In this instance, player 2 is unsuccessful in solving their search card because instead of drawing an irregular hexagon, they draw a regular hexagon, resulting in an unsuccessful search. Player 2's turn is now over, and player 3 draws their card. Player 3's card is how many sides does a pentagon have? After reading this, player 3 starts the timer and then attempts to answer the question to the best of their ability. In this instance, player 3 is successful in solving their search card by writing 5 on their paper, which is the answer to how many sides does a pentagon have. Player 3's turn is over, and now player 4 draws a card and must draw a right triangle. In this instance, player 4 is successful in drawing a right triangle, a triangle with a 90-degree angle. Because the majority of players were successful in solving their search cards, they get to do a part card round. If the majority of players were unsuccessful, or half the players were unsuccessful in solving their search, the round would be over, no part card round would happen, and play would start again with player 1. Part card round. Assuming all players are successful in a part card round, one player draws the part card. The part card is similar to the search cards, except that all players partake in solving this card. In this instance, all 4 players were successful in solving the part card. Because the part card was successfully solved by all players, the counter is moved 1 space and then round starts again. Looking at another scenario where player 4 fails the part card. They are unsuccessful in writing the correct answer, and therefore the counter cannot be moved up 1 space. The card is discarded, and then play once again starts with player 1. The game ends when the players have successfully solved 7 part cards. Cartesians playing is designed so that players can reinforce materials that have already been addressed in the class in a cooperative team working environment. Instead of players working to defeat each other in the game, they work to defeat the game itself, keeping them in a competitive learning environment while also promoting teamwork. Each player gets a turn with an equal amount, resulting in making sure that no player is excluded from playing.